How do you handle the criticism?
I had really bad experiences in my life where people wantedly criticized me so that I'll be pulled down.
Okay.
And getting it from the faculty, just imagine how
Yes,
horrible
yes,
it is.
yes.
At one point, I was literally like, what's happening with me? I'm unable to understand. Why is it happening to me? I used to blame God sometimes. Why is this only happening to me? But at one point, after I got my score and all, the one person who scolded me, he came to my mother and he told sorry to her.
Are you good at individual level or good at team player, good as team player?
I usually feel I'm more good individually than being in a team.
Made you possible.
One thing, as I told you, I always believe is explore as much as you can, learn as much as you can, utilize every opportunity. But in my journey throughout, what I realized is sometimes the people whom you trust will only make you feel bad for trusting them.
So generally, we are having two choices: liking the things we do or doing the things we like. So which category are you?
So you want to puzzle me with your questions?
Not exactly, but doing the things you like is important, or liking the things you handle the criticism.
Criticism.
Yes.
I really feel this is one of the toughest part for me when I was younger.
Okay.
Like especially when I was in 10th inter. Trust me or not, I had a really bad experiences in my life where people wantedly criticized me so that I'll be pulled down.
Okay.
And getting it from the faculty, just imagine how
Yes,
horrible
yes,
it is.
yes.
I didn't understand. I don't want to reveal their name or I don't want to reveal the incident because it's not. I don't want to defame them. But at that particular moment, I couldn't understand because till that time they used to praise me a lot. Trust me, I did not get one beating also from anyone.
Okay.
That was the thing, and no one scolded me at any point of time. And suddenly, if someone comes and speaks to you in such a way that you are nothing, you are worthless, you don't have any talent, that puzzled me a lot. I couldn't understand. That whole day I kept crying. Why this person has scolded me in that way? And as I told you about my value teacher, I went to her. I asked her a lot of questions. Literally, like, do you really believe I'm not talented? I started getting such kind of doubts in my mind, and then at one point, I was literally like, what's happening with me? I'm unable to understand. Why is it happening to me? I used to blame God sometimes. Why is this only happening to me? But at one point, after I got my score and all, the one person who scolded me, he came to my mother and he told sorry to her.
Okay.
And he said, I was very wrong in doing that, and you have really a diamond in your home. But
what's the intention of schooling at that time?
the issue was he wanted to support one more girl.
Okay.
She was the second in our class.
Okay.
So what he thought was the best way to support her and encourage her is to demotivate me in front of everyone.
Okay.
So if he demotivates me the most, then he can actually improve her.
Okay.
So that was the strategy he had in mind. I couldn't actually expect it from a faculty. Just imagine how partial it is. So that really upset me. That was really a kind of biggest criticism I faced in my life. Apart from that, even in inter, I had some same situation where one of the person who used to praise me a lot said a thing like, "Why you will give her photo in the poster?" He asked our principal literally, why you want her photo on the poster? Just remove it. We'll replace it with someone.
I can imagine the situation, how horrible it would be.
I couldn't understand why. Because you just imagine, if you know someone don't like you,
Yes.
if you get some words from them, okay, you'll understand, okay, because they don't have any kind of connection with you. But someone who used to support you or who is very neutral to you all the time and who always was okay, you're a good kind of person, and suddenly coming and changing their words and starting to blame you without any reason.
Yeah.
Now, if you did some wrong and someone blames you, that's fine. Okay, you can accept that I did some mistake. But without you doing any mistake, if someone says something, taking it as really, really horrible. So at that point, And then he also, at some point, he also realized it was his mistake. He was trying, like he actually confessed it. But still, just imagine how much trauma I might have gone through at that particular point. And I I told you that Telugu teacher and Sanskrit ma'am, I got that much of connection because even in those situations, they supported me a lot.
Okay.
They were like, no, it's not your mistake. You don't get demotivated. They supported me a lot because in those situations, how much ever strong you are,
yes,
still you need some person who can actually listen to you without any filters and help you out to understand what the reality is.
Yes.
So that's the biggest thing. So after those experiences, what I realized is people criticize you wantedly. Some do it because they want you to improve. Some do it because they want you to pull you down.
Okay.
So you have to understand that distinction. Who is actually criticizing you so that they can help you out?
Who is actually praising
Who
you
is
honestly?
criticizing you to pull you down?
Okay.
The moment you start understanding that, that helps you out. And second thing is, learn to take criticism constructively. Sometimes some points will actually help you to grow.
Yes.
At that point, you might feel like they are scolding us or they are making negative comments on us. But at some point, those comments will help you in improving yourself.
Yes, definitely.
So one thing majorly is you have to understand the difference.
Okay.
The moment you understand the difference, it is easy for you on how to proceed with the type of criticism.
Are you good at individual level or good at team player? Good as team player?
I usually feel I'm more good individually than being in a team.
Okay.
Because one thing I feel in a team is you have to, since you're working with multiple people, most of the times what happens is if you are working with a person who doesn't like you,
Okay.
just imagine you come up with some ideas, you come up with some plans, and sometimes even with that we try to deal, but people tended to delay your task because whatever personal level of opinions they have, they put it in professional level and they'll actually not allow you to complete your task on time. But individually when you do things, you don't have such restrictions. That's a one point I feel. But even then, if you are able to manage it, if you are able to cope up with things, still it's fine. You can manage with both. But individually doing something is sometimes better than team. Sometimes doing in team is better than individual. Okay. And again, I believe that it depends on situation and kind of thing that you're handling.
Yes. And how is your btech life?
Btech life. Okay, so it's you're actually again taking me back to those nostalgic memories. So first year, it was 1 1 only we went to college.
Okay.
1 2 I think we went for 1 month. That's all. So especially in 1 month, it was like everyone who comes. Initially, I'll tell you, seeing my height, seeing my like face color. To be very frank, people usually think she is not talented.
Okay.
That is a common thing that people get.
Visual perception.
Visual perception. So first week it was very fine, and every time I get a chance to prove myself, I used to go onto the stage, speak something. I did very well. Second week, what happened is few of the girls in my class made fun of me in the lab.
Okay.
So that hurted me a lot. I really felt like Srinidhi is not a part of thing for me. Srinidhi is something very different from me, and I always feel that Srinidhi, like after seeing the people in Srinidhi and all, I felt like okay, these people are really rich. I'm not from that background, so I don't think this is a proper place for me. So initially first week, and do you trust me or not? First time when I came along with my mother to college for paying the fees.
Okay.
She asked me one question. Can you sustain in this big college? This was the biggest question she asked me. That it's done. Then slowly the exams were happening and all. And especially as I told you in the first year, whether it be Sudharani ma'am or Jangir sir, our physics faculty, or Bano Jangir sir, our tech sir. So I usually love one thing. Our Texan sir used to call me as ma'am.
Okay.
Every time. So and my roll number was second roll number in the class. So I completed my presentation in the first day itself. He was so impressed with my presentation that every time when he comes to class, he used to check whether I was there in the class or not.
Okay.
And every time he used to support me a lot. And as I told you, he used to call ma'am.
Yes.
And that usually used to give me a lot of good feeling. So in that way, my first year completely passed. And every faculty who used to come to my class in first year, they used to say one thing. After the 4 years, when you come for convocation, we want to see you taking the gold medal. That is our biggest happiness.
Yes.
I couldn't understand. These people know me now only, just 2 months. It's like a relation of just 3 months. How come they have such a confidence on me? So that was very, very nice. And apart from that, I always have limited friends. Trust me or not, I always have limited friends. Why? I don't know. But even though I will be very friendly with everyone, I will help out with everyone, very few will actually stay with me till the last. That's happened. And that was the thing with the first sem. Second sem, as I told you, we went 1 month to college, and I used to like our CP sir a lot, C program.
Okay.
It was Raja Ramesh sir.
Uh,
And first, initially, I used to think, Abba, if this sir comes, he'll say, do all the programs on your own, write all the programs on your own. So when it's an easy topic, writing program is very easy. But when it comes to the tough topic, right, you feel like you have to put a lot of effort.
Yes.
So I used to think, if this sir comes again, he'll say the same. But slowly, because of the habit that he inculcated in us, we started writing everything on our own. Actually, we have Monday lab. Monday morning is a C programming lab. So on every Friday, he used to give certain questions.
okay.
He'll tell us, write on algorithms, flowcharts and programs. For all those questions, come and execute it on Monday. While executing it, if you get errors, then understand what was the error, correct it.
Okay.
So that was something which actually helped us in. I still feel my C is very strong when compared to all others because of the practice that he gave us.
Yes.
I really feel that. And after the 2 months, as I told you, it was again online. Still, people say online was not good, but I really feel online was a big boon for me because till that time I was restricted to certain things.
Yes.
But once it became online, I started using Instagram for the first time.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, all my friends used to say Instagram is a time pass thing, we'll waste our time. But Instagram is the one which actually helped me to find lot of opportunities.
Yes.
You see, as you told, you see in my LinkedIn profile lot of experiences,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
Most of the experiences, opportunities, I got it from the Instagram.
Okay.
So that's the way Instagram actually helped me out in my COVID situation. And then coming to 2-1, we are done with 1-2. It was, I felt like 1-2 was okay kind of thing, not so good because the subjects are also like whatever you studied in
Yes,
inter,
yes.
chemistry and all. So it was not so new for us. Coming to the 2-1, again all the core subjects. Initially, you are introduced to your own department. So we are introduced to EC department. I got a call from our HOD for the first time. I didn't, until that time, I don't know who is our HOD for EC department. That was my situation. He called me, and that was the day my grandmother expired. I couldn't lift his call. My 2-1 started 5 days. For the first 10 days, I was actually busy in that, and I was really depressed with all those situations. Slowly, I was just trying to get on track, overcoming those all things. Suddenly, I realized EDC is taught by Sudharani ma'am. She was the faculty who was in 1-1. So, first class she took, second class she called me. She called me and asked, you are in my class, right? She asked. I was checking for your name, she said. I was literally surprised. 1-1 done, 1-2 we didn't have any connection. It's 2-1.
Yes.
Still, we don't even expect someone to remember our name. She calling me and asking that, it was like fueling my enthusiasm again. So slowly it started, like all my 2-1 subjects. The biggest thing I will tell is, I used to reply for every question they ask in online also.
Okay.
I used to feel like as if I'm in an offline class, they're asking me, I used to reply it immediately. That is what made me be active throughout the class.
Okay.
Now when someone is not live, staying active throughout the class will be very tough. So that actually helped me out to learn subjects in a better way. And still, even in online, I used to maintain my notes. Then I used to post all those notes in our class groups.
Okay.
At that time, it was just like to help my classmates. But slowly, I realized that my class notes was given to all the other sections. Everyone used it for exams. When people come and ask, "You are that girl, right? Whose book is in our classroom?" I used to really feel very proud of myself. Okay, my notebook is helping most of the people. Like that, 2 1 2 2 all went in Corona. 3 1, it's a fresh start again. You have to come through college. So first 1 week it was online classes again.
Okay.
As usual, online is something as I told you, I was very active even on online. It was very active and all. Again, when I came to college, all the faculty were very new, and I couldn't actually recognize some of them who taught us in 2 1 and 2 2.
Okay.
Because the voice that they had was entirely different, and like their DPs, I mean their profile pictures and the real them were completely different. So, first initially they recognized me, but for me, I was very careful while asking them whether they are the one or not. Because if we go to some wrong person and ask you are this, it doesn't look good. So like that, our 3 1 again came into the proper mode, and 3 1 was full of journey of exploration for me. Because in 2 1 and 2 2, I was almost a part of almost all the clubs.
Yes.
Now 3 1. The biggest challenge for me was, since it's online at 2 2, I could manage academics with all the extracurricular activities very actively. Now it's a question for me. If I have to do something, I have to bunk the class.
Yes.
And people usually say faculty don't like people who bunk the classes, who don't attend the class. For me, it's like I should not, get any negative remark even from the faculty. So, you believe or not, what I used to do is, if I have very emergency work, I used to drop a message to my faculty that I'm not attending that class. Please give me the permission. Surprisingly, every time I put the message, I used to get the permission.
Okay.
And there are few faculty who actually even gave me attendance. Who helped me even in the attendance part.
Okay.
So I realized one thing: when you do things very honestly, everyone will help you out.
Yes, definitely.
And the 3 1, as I told you, I could publish the papers. Paper publications happened. I was part of many competitions. So it was completely, trust me, I enjoyed and explored a lot. It was like academics I'm enjoying. Everything I'm enjoying. At some point, some of my friends felt like she'll not be much in the class. Still, she'll complete everything again. Every week I used to post
And top
notes in the class also. How is it possible? And some used to feel jealous also. Like she's getting all the support even from the faculties and to do all this thing. Then came the 3 2. So 3 2 was something like a roller coaster ride for me, to be very frank. The reason was, we used to continuously go to competitions. Every week one competition used to be there. Done. After the competitions, my mids came. I wrote mids very well. Again, all 23s in mids. Fine. Then came the Inventor Challenge show.
Okay.
The biggest question in front of me is, going out of college for 2 months, will it affect my aim to get the gold medal? So that was the biggest question in my mind. At that particular time, actually, as I told you, Anubhavan, she supported us a lot. She gave us a lot of guidance and helped us a lot. So we took all the formalities, we fulfilled everything, and then we went there. So everything was very good, and I'll tell you, the experience that I had in the show was something which is, even if you put crores and crores of rupees, you don't get that experience. Such a wonderful experience. I could meet a lot of inventors, innovators, and especially the Manish who is founder of TECHIE. I built a lot of connection with
She
him.
usually raises a girl power.
And girl power. It's like almost everyone. I got a very good bonding there. Many people. Like I was I don't even speak much with them at that time. I generally speak more with people I trust.
Okay.
Or people whom I know since so long. So when I went there, I used to just speak very few words with them, not so much. But still, the affection that they had for me, or the support that they had for me, I really felt very, very happy with that. Even now, most of them are in connect with me. So it was wonderful experience. Again, I came back.
Hmm.
Just trust me. Today is the finale of Inventor Challenge. We are done with the finale and we reached home at 12 a.m.
Hmm.
tonight. Okay? And next day morning at 9 o'clock, I have my semester exam.
Wow.
Semester exam, it's DSP, Digital Signal
How
Processing.
did you handle?
First, let me tell you, it was like lot of emotions are going on in mind. Whether I'll be able to do it or will I get good marks. Lot of questions were going on in my mind. And at that time, on the day, what happened is, our flight was too late.
Okay.
So 11:30, I got down at Uppal. From Uppal to come here, I don't have any vehicles at that time, right? So in Uppal, my Telugu teacher stays. I just called her. She picked her call and she said, "Come to my home and stay here."
Okay.
I went there. So I said, "I have to study now. I have exam tomorrow." She only said one thing. "I know that you already studied everything before. Just sleep now. Relax now. Morning I'll wake you up exactly at 4:30. You can prepare." Exactly at 4:30, she woke me up. I just revised few chapters and went and wrote the exam. That was the situation. And
How did the exam go? How did the exam?
I wrote very well exam. But what happened is 3-2 was the only semester where I got less than 9 points.
Okay.
The issue was there are a lot of factors to that. One thing was in that semester, basically my elective is entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
Everyone knows that in entrepreneurship they'll never give you marks above 80.
Okay.
That's the biggest drawback for me all the time. So that time the scenario was even worse. They did not give anyone above 75.
Okay.
So score went down there. Second, my elective in that semester was embedded Python. In embedded Python, for that time, why I don't know, I checked almost everyone marks. No one got above 69.
Okay.
Mine was 69 there again. That was a drawback. And trust me, these two subjects has 3 credits.
Okay. Having major credits.
Major credits. And like that, things have gone it's completely.
But apart from that, the skills you have learned.
But that was only semester where I got 8.56. Apart from that, all semesters it's 9.5, 9.7 kind of thing. That made me feel very, very bad for that. But one thing I felt was whatever experience I gained,
Yes,
it's
yes.
worth more than that.
Yes.
That's the only thing.
I like to say the same.
And because of that thing, I missed my gold medal with point one. Point one.
I know how difficult it will be.
And there it was like suddenly what happened, I don't know. But some of my lab faculty also did not give me marks in labs. They cut my marks in labs also.
What might be the reason?
No, I don't know. The ones who said even if you don't write the internal, we'll give you full marks once you come.
Okay.
The ones who told that.
But backstab.
This backstabbed me. That was the very toughest situation for me. And that actually made me feel a lot of depressed. Because after that situation, for few weeks or almost for a month, I was not in my zone. I was like, I shouldn't have gone to the show or something else I would have done. Why? Actually, because of those lab marks, it went down 9.
Okay.
If that lab marks were given, I used to at least cross 9 points.
Yes, yes.
And then, luckily, I might be a part of gold medal. Right.
What is the GPA for gold medal at that time?
It was the girl, she got 9.58, I guess.
9.58. It's genuinely so remarkable, like the kind of GPA you maintain. Even now you have the GPA of 9.58, yes, right?
It's 9.52.
How can you manage all those? Like you have been part of many clubs, you have been ambassador for many student brands, you have been to many competitions and for other states, and you have been to Goa for some challenge, and you have made so many connections. Like how actually this all made you possible?
One thing, as I told you, I always believe is explore as much as you can, learn as much as you can, utilize every opportunity. But in my journey throughout, what I realized is sometimes the people whom you trust will only make you feel bad for trusting them.
Okay.
They'll backstab you, and trust me, what I realized was when you need someone's help the most, at that particular time only people will deny helping you.
Okay.
In my situation, I never seek the help from anyone at any point of time. Trust me, I never asked any faculty for giving just 1 mark also.
Okay.
I never asked because it's against my self-respect.
Yes.
I'll never ask. And like when it came to that 3-2 labs, no, that really made me feel very, very bad because in spite of doing everything, did I go on a holiday leave or did I enjoy something?
You actually represented the college. That's a proud moment actually.
So that was something which actually made me feel bad. But later on I was like, okay, what has happened. Now I can't actually go back and change anything. So that's the thing. Then coming to 4-1, I was like, I'll not expect anything from anyone. I'll not depend on anyone for anything. I'll come regularly to college. Basically, in 4-1, no one came to college, but still, I went every day to the college.
Okay.
Because the situation which happened to me in 3-2
Impacted.
changed me or molded me into that. And I started losing trust on most of the people. It was like, even if someone says something, I was like, okay, I'll just listen to it, but that doesn't have any impact on me. So at that particular time it was very hard, but now I realize whatever has happened for a reason. You'll get a lot of learnings from your life, and those learnings will help you out at one or the other point. And one more thing I truly believe is if you're honest and if you really do things with whole heart, at one or the other point they'll reflect and they'll help you.
Definitely. And you have been in the career life since 2 months, I think, 2 or 3 months. So, what are the differences you have observed from the educational life and career life? What are the major differences?
One thing is, whatever you study and whatever you do is entirely
Different.
That's a first.
I have one question here. Then, what is the purpose of studying the different? Like, why can't they change the curriculum? Why can't they change the entire education framework to do what we work?
For that, I have one solid reason. The reason is why colleges follow this curriculum is without having base,
Okay.
you can't build, right? For even when you start building a house, pillars are the base. If pillars are not strong, building something upon it is definitely useless. So that is what the philosophy followed by colleges. They believe in making you strong in the basics. The moment you become strong in the basics, it's very easy for you to inculcate some new learnings and add on to.
But to what extent it is actually implemented in college? That's the question.
One thing I say is practical learning is something which is not so good at college level, be it any college. Because when you come to the practical level, the more you work out practically, then only you'll understand things. But the more what happens to us is we are more driven towards theory rather than the practical. And when you get into our work life, what you really understand is theory is just 15 to 20%. Rest of all is practically how you deal with it or how you do it. So the approach I believe is if you start giving more importance to practicals, that will actually help you out. Practical learning gives you more benefit. Now, why are we so much interested in joining clubs in college? The only reason is you get a learning through practical means.
Yes. And we also get networking.
We also get networking, we get to connect with a lot of people. So there are a lot of reasons why we get into a lot of clubs, right? So all those learnings will actually help you out when you get into your work life.
Okay. So generally we are having two choices, liking the things we do or doing the things we like. So which category are you?
So you want to puzzle me with your questions?
Not exactly, but doing the things you like is important or liking the things you do is important.
So for this, I have two different perspectives. So coming to the first one, everyone will everyone have or everyone will enjoy when they do things that they like. It's a common thing, right? The moment you become unique is when you love the things that you do.
Okay.
Most of the time, the gap is you do a lot of things but without any interest. That is the reason you're not getting the results that you want.
Yes.
Now, when the same person is given a task that they like, they'll do it with more efficiency when compared with the before. So that's the basic difference. And sometimes it's very important that you do the things that you like. But sometimes it's important that you like the things that you do. Again, it depends on situation, perspective, what kind of things that you're going through. I'll just give you a very brief example. Now, if you are in some government position or some guested officer position, and your principle is to be honest,
Yes.
to not manipulate anyone. Okay, if someone comes says that it's very important that you manipulate the things right now. Otherwise, it's a trouble for everyone. We don't have any choice. You have to do it. Now, in this point, you asked me whether you have to do the things that you like or do like the things that you do. Now, in this perspective, you have to do the things that you like.
Okay.
Because it is something which directly have impact on your character, on your principles.
Yes.
So if you start compromising there, obviously you are compromising on your personality.
Yes, definitely.
So that's where you have to do the things that you like. Now coming to there are certain situations. Now you are in a family, especially when you talk about a joint family. When you're living together, you got something or your father got something for you, and then immediately your cousin came. You have to, he said to share. You don't like sharing it with someone because it's your favorite thing. But at that particular time, I believe sharing it with them is important because that sharing what you do with them will actually build your affection, will strengthen your bonds. So again, it depends on situation. That's what I believe in.
What are you best at, planning or implementing?
I always believe planning and implementation are like two sides of a coin.
Okay.
One doesn't exist without the other. Until or unless you have a proper planning, implementation becomes impossible. Until or unless you implement it, planning is useless.
Yes, well said.